Hi guys, today I decided to plant out my peas. These are the sugar snap peas that I started inside for an early harvest. And if you're wondering why my coat is dirty, it's from when I put my daughter in her car seat. So I've showed you these plastic tunnels that we've made ourselves, and this is what it looks like underneath. There's some parsley still growing and some walking onions. And so I'm going to plant these on the front of the bed. The soil here was a bit frozen still. It was kind of a struggle to make a row to plant the peas in, but eventually I got the row done. Maybe that was a mistake on my part. Maybe I should have waited until the soil was a bit more thawed, but I really wanted to get them out. They were growing up in height a lot, and the weather was starting to warm up, so I just figured I'd plant them out, and if they make it, they make it. I forgot to harden these plants off, so they're coming straight from indoors to this low tunnel, and I have this problem a lot where I forget to harden my plants off. But I just figured I'll see what happens with these. And before I start planting the peas, I'm actually going to fertilize the row. So I'm just looking here for my fertilizer and remembering I kept it under this bucket for the winter. So the first thing that I'm putting down is bone meal. And I just fertilize everything the same. Some bone meal, this is some blood meal, and then the last thing I'm going to put down is some alfalfa pellets. And I feel like this blend works well for me. I've wanted to get a soil test done, but I haven't had the time, and I don't even know where I would send the test or order the test. So maybe one day I'll do that, but right now I'm just fertilizing everything basically the same, and I feel like that's worked out just fine up until now at least. So here are the peas. The variety is Oregon Sugar Pod, and you can tell how tall they are, so that's why I wanted to get them planted out today. Just mixing the fertilizer in with the soil, and then here's the part that makes me love soil blocks so much. Planting out is just so easy. You just pick them up and put them in the soil. It's amazing. I just love soil blocks so much because of that. And you can tell I have these thick gloves on, thick leather gloves, and I can still plant things out in winter. And here's what they look like all planted out. And then I'm also showing you the rest of the bed where I have, these are the walking onions. These are some elephant garlic and a couple of weeds that I need to remove. But I'm gonna close this bed up. But before I do, I was having a little bit of an issue with some of the low tunnels. The wooden frame was coming apart a little bit in the corners. So I was just strengthening that up with these, I don't know what they're called, like corner brackets. So that's what I'm doing here. It was this one and one of the other low tunnels that had the issues. So I have a total of 4 low tunnels, and out of the 4, there were 2 that had an issue. And maybe I'll have issues with the other 2 that are left, but I've built them in a different way and they haven't had any issues yet. Hopefully there won't be an issue with them at all, but if there should be a problem or the same problem with them, I'll just reinforce them as well. But you can see here what it looks like, the corner bracket that I was talking about. So hopefully that's gonna strengthen it enough to where it's gonna last all winter long. And so here's the second raised bed with the low tunnel that had the same issue. The corners were coming apart. And the brassica crops that are in this raised bed were planted out in January and still doing well here. And even though the crops have only been in the bed since January, there actually is some slug damage on these. So even in the winter time, the enemy is causing problems. So I'm going to close this low tunnel up now that I've reinforced it. And I just wanted to show you, this is some oregano that actually overwintered and some thyme. So hopefully these ones will last all the way through winter until spring, and I can harvest it in the summer. So project for a different day is to clean up the tomato trellis from last year. I just haven't gone around to it, but the tomatoes are completely dried out now. So I was really happy to get the peas planted out and the repairs done. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.